The West African Examination Council. Well, in case you've forgotten, there was this conflicting results which they did release and sending a whole lot of people embarrassed. Well, this morning we're joined by Mr. Tony Isian, who was a public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Amazing, so much reaction generated by this singular action of the Examination Council. Well, yes, they put out the publication, apologizing for that, but conflicting results also about what caused it. Initially, some said it were hackers. Well, they say eventually they had to set up a commission to look into all of this. But did you believe what was going on?
Actually, if we think of what we believe, it will be very personal. But we have to look at the information we have at hand. The information says a group of people working made mistake. But these people have been doing the same work for years, or has been learning from the masters who has been doing it before them, and was employed to do a particular job. And WAEC, as we know, have quality control system that has to go through processes before the result is released. So an individual making a mistake, it should be a group mistake, because it's not one person that should check what is coming out to the public. But if you now talk about what I believe there is inside, there's kind of cabal that inside the system, something will come as they want to interfere and put what they want. Now look at the whole system as a WAEC. I took WAEC, you took WAEC, and what had the result? Believe that that's what we got, not what they gave us. But today we hear that you can now go and demand what you want. You pay for it, and they give it to you.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we are hearing. I'm saying of what we hear. That what you hear must have a reason backing it. It can't just come from the blues. Somewhere, somehow, there must be some element of truth. If it's not 100%, we can get 80% of the truth there.
Mr. Isian, honestly, you just actually use a particular phrase there that is known to most Nigerians. Well, when they go check your results that has been displayed by WAEC, you say, well, I was given a P or an F, not that I got a P or F. So if we have to go back to that statement which people were saying in time and marry it with what Representative Robinson Uwak of the Federal House of Representatives representing Uwak constituency did say, that they should declare a state of emergency in the education sector because, well, this consistent mass failure of people in their qualifying exam spells trouble for us in the future.
If you go to the consistent mass failure, is in our system. But if we are talking about the error that has happened, it's a different case. The consistent mass failure.
How are we sure that those mass failures we've recorded in the past were not as a result of this kind of errors?
No. Sure, it is not a result of this kind of error. The consistent mass failure, even the president of Nigeria should know that it's not because of this error. It's because our system of education has its own problem. And it's consistent. And the problem we know, we are not even ready to solve it. So we are not expecting better result. So it's not a case of the error. The error is a different case. The consistent mass failure is a different issue altogether.
Look at that scenario, for instance. It looks like that's a fundamental problem. If at this stage, I will consistently recording mass failures, so that's expected to reflect at the higher stages, isn't it?
You are repeating what I said in a different language. That's what I say is our system. We have decided to consider. When you say consistent mass failure, let me make some points clear. I'm sure that if my child, as I'm planning for him, takes WAEC or West Africa's senior school, he is not going to fail. Because I planned and groomed him to pass. So the consistent mass failure is a failure of the society itself. The mass that is failing is the mass that is forgotten, that is not taken care of.
And that's a true reflection.
By who? Are we
Fine,
is it
by the
educational
system
the educational
system, because most people are privileged. They've already crossed the barrier. They can take care of their children. If we want to go, we go to the system proper and discuss it one by one.
Okay, what makes up this system you've been talking about?
Fine. The system is a system of it. What we are putting into the education is garbage in, garbage out. What the society is putting into the education is what they will get. We're having public schools every day, which is making some of us do business today because of the public schools that is everywhere. But it's not everybody that can afford it. The majority of Nigerian children today are in the public schools. Don't look at Lagos, Abuja, that have a lot of private schools that is everywhere. When you go into the real land, how many private schools do we have there? That's where the masses are. You just go to the cities, you see private schools everywhere. The result will be so good because there we are taught. They were prepared.
So what should we be doing about the public schools? How can we get them to that state they were once?
Fine. First of all, we have to look at who is imparting the knowledge. That the teachers. What quality of teachers do we have? Before today, teachers were motivated better. So you can attract quality hands. But people who have read education, who are supposed to teach, are the best of the teachers, first class, 2-1, all those ones. They've gone to banks, went to other jobs that could pay them better. And people who are mediocres or even below mediocres in the other field are moved into education to teach. So that lifts the teaching hands to the below mediocre. I'm not talking of mediocre, below. If you go to the classrooms, you see a teacher teaching. Who says a teacher? Even his personality does not motivate the people they are teaching. They don't aspire to be like them. The way they teach, even some of them will speak the English they are using to teach, and the children will correct them. Are you with me? So a lot of all this has to be a package that has to be as a result of motivation. If you pay peanut, get monkeys. This has been said before I was born, and it still remains the same. So they are talking about 18,000 minimum wage, and when we look at that 18,000, we are looking at the teachers.
Okay, now the federal government has proposed, set aside some billions rather, to train about 185,000 teachers. Wouldn't that make a difference?
Even if you set the whole money in Nigerian budget to train the teachers and you don't pay them well, you're not making a headway. That knowledge they get will evaporate with hunger. They need to be taken care of. Somebody has to see himself ready to survive and have what it takes to take care of his liabilities at school before I even think of doing the work. You're training him. So if you train them and you're not motivated your work, you cannot get training.
You have an idea of remuneration of teachers now?
I have a very vivid idea about remuneration of teachers from primary down.
Tell us about it.
Teachers are paid between 15 and 40,000
in the public school.
Yes,
15 and 40,000.
My own state, Enugu State, is battling on paying the minimum wage. And what do you expect these teachers to do? They are already thinking of another business to do, because they are not paid. They are having problems. So if somebody has developed a kind of business already within the period he is on strike, and now you are called back, and that business is there, you are sure that this business can be generating 1 or 2 naira for you. Is something you can't control. And by the teaching job you are doing, you are not sure when they will pay you or not. Where will your mind be?
I mean, heartbreak is a word now to use that you've just caused loads of Nigerians. You say teachers and between 15,000 naira and 40,000 naira in Nigeria. Specifically, some other states are like Enugu. Now, how can we move away from all of this? Because we have a ministry that by now should have known all of this that you've just reeled out.
All right. Solution is what we to discuss. It's not all about problem. Assuming that even these teachers were allowed to enhance their qualification individually, and with their qualification there is a standard minimum you can earn. We're talking of matching results with remuneration. Assuming like we have chartered accountants, we have chartered institute for teachers, where you can now go update yourself, regularize yourself, and with this qualification you cannot earn below this. then they will look forward. The system will be upgrading the teachers themselves, and the money they will earn will be also upgraded with what they can offer. So it's not a job. I'm not talking about just packing money and giving teachers when somebody is not delivering, because most of them that have it there, they cannot deliver. But if you can be assessed that you can offer this delivery, and you are matched with the money, then you find that this issue of they are paying teachers this amount, why are we not paid? You can go upgrade yourself, become independent. You can go and upgrade yourself and get paid at this level.
And then probably move into the private schools?
Yes.
So what happens to the public schools?
No, you might not move to the private school. It's become a standard. If you have this, if you put yourself at this level, as mean you have about 10 qualifications that you can work on yourself. Because there are a lot of teaching aids are coming, technology is changing. You don't just teach with chalk and all this blackboard now. You have a lot of accessories that will aid you in teaching. And learning how to use these accessories, learning how to use these teaching aids, being creative also in designing your own teaching aids, all these have to come in.
What about those who have upgraded themselves, have learned all of this, but they don't see these tools you're talking about to deliver?
That's good. That's where we now talk about the government interest. Because the public schools, they are also independent. As they are working, they know their standard, the kind of customer they are targeting. But the government schools are targeting the public. So if government interest is there, they will provide it. But if the government interest is not there, even if you have all the qualification, you don't have the tools, you cannot use your own money to buy it.